Good morning. I think I speak for almost all of us when I say that we all love having a plan, whether it's for a project, a sports game, a big test, or just getting through the week. Having a plan makes us feel like we're in control. But the truth is, no matter how well you plan, life is a very unpredictable thing and doesn't always obey your script. I learned this the hard way on the soccer field. I remember this particular game and the week leading up to it very well, because this game single-handedly changed my perspective of life. It was a game we were supposed to win easily. The team we were playing against wasn't particularly strong, and we've been practicing the same solid formation and strategy we've used for 2 years, all week. The plan was simple. Play a 4-4-2 formation, control the ball and get possession, play the ball to the midfielders and have them play through balls with the wingers, and from then, we'd most likely score with our own abilities. It sounded perfect. Nothing could go wrong. But as I've learned, the game and life does not care about your plans. 10 minutes into the match, things started falling apart. First, our key midfielder got a red card because he couldn't control his emotions. He was the one that we relied on to control the tempo of the game. And without him, and down to 10 players, it felt like the heart of our team was missing. To add to our misfortune, the weather decided to make things worse. The rain started as a drizzle, but within minutes turned into a complete downpour. Every pass we made either skidded too far or stopped completely dead in a puddle. And then, to top it all off, the other team scored a completely random deflection. A ball that hit someone's knee bounced awkwardly past our goalkeeper, and suddenly we were down 1-0, frustrated and cold. When the halftime whistle blew, the score was 1-0, and we were down. Everybody was frustrated on our team, and the atmosphere during the coaches' meeting was bleak. Standing there in the rain, I felt stuck. I kept replaying our game plan in my head, hoping it would magically start working. But the reality was clear. Our plan was not going to work anymore. We had to let it go and figure out something new. Our coach did something very ambitious. He told us that we needed to forget the plan and play what we thought was right. And that basically meant we had to wing it in an important league game. Since we were down a player, I had to drop back and help defend, a position I wasn't used to. We started making shorter, safer passes instead of trying to launch the ball downfield. And since we were only 10 players, we had to do a lot more defending in our own half. Communication became key. Every player on the field was shouting instructions to each other, calling to mark a player, drop back and not make a challenge, or just encouraging each other to stay focused. Little by little, we started to find a rhythm. It wasn't the rhythm we'd expected, but it was enough to keep us in the game. 10 minutes into the second half, we had managed to score off a corner kick, a scrappy, chaotic goal that barely crossed the net. We fought our way back in the second half, and miraculously, with just a few minutes left in the match, we'd scored another goal. When the final whistle blew, we had won 2-1 in our favor. But what stuck with me wasn't the win. It was what it took for us to get there. That game taught me something bigger than soccer. It taught me how to adapt when things don't go according to your ways. There are many other moments when life itself doesn't go according to your plans. Friendships don't always work out as you'd imagine. Sometimes the people you thought you'd have a closer relationship with began drifting away. When I first experienced this, I was desperately trying to force things back to the old ways and not accepting to adapt and move on. But then it dawned on me that people change, and the best way to keep a friendship going was to let it evolve. By adapting, it didn't mean giving up. It meant embracing this new dynamic to stay connected in a manner that suited all of us. Even small things and everyday moments have taught us the role of adaptation. Like this one time, I studied for a test and focused on the completely wrong material. I'd studied for hours on certain topics, only to find out when I opened the test, none of what I studied was on it. In that moment, I could have panicked and completely lost myself. But I did the opposite. I slowed down, read the questions carefully, and did my best to make educated guesses based on what I did know. Was it ideal? No. But I still did well because I made the best out of the situation by adapting. What I've learned that to adapt isn't just to react to difficulties, but to let go of the way you wanted things to be and focus on what you can control, given the circumstances at any particular moment. That soccer game in the rain taught me that the plan was just a starting point. What mattered more was your ability to adjust and adapt when things don't go fluently with that starting point. But adaptation isn't always something you can do alone. On the field that day, I couldn't turn the game around on my own. It took teammates, communication, and our mutual effort to make it work. In life, it's no different. Friends, family, or even classmates may often help you see solutions you might have overlooked yourself. Since then, I've been through loads of moments where things didn't go according to my plans. Every time it happens, I remind myself of what I learned that day on the rainy field. Plans are unknowable, but it's our ability to adapt that keeps us moving forward. Life is full of surprises, but if you can stay calm and focus on what you can control, you can find a way to overcome them. After all, if you're willing to adapt, you'll always find a way through any situation. So to all of you, the next time something doesn't go according to plan, or you get caught by surprise, whether it's a tough class, a problem with friends, a tricky situation, or just the chaos of daily life, remember this: stop clinging to the plan. Look what's in front of you, take small steps forward, and trust yourself to figure it out as you go. After all, the ability to adapt isn't just a skill. It's what helps one succeed. Remember that.